Hello, can you hear me? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Hello and welcome to Atomic Movie Reviews Film Society. I am your host, Atomicon Rex. Here we discuss films that have a narrative background in aliens, ghosts, robots, and monsters. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay, so what did we watch? We watched Dante's Inferno. It was a 2010 anime. I found it on Amazon Prime. It's about 85 minutes long. So what are some of the plot and narrative predictions? I didn't have any real ones. I thought it was going to be about Greek gods. I was completely wrong. I guess this movie is based on a video game. I didn't find that out until I actually turned it on. What genre is it? It is a fantasy horror anime, cinematography anime, original work. So I guess it's inspired by a video game, a PlayStation, I think original PlayStation video game. I think it's like it rivals like God of War. It's in that kind of genre. It's like an action um fighting, not a fighting, not a but an action fantasy game. Um Set design. It was how would you say low poly? Yeah, I mean I guess it's off the PlayStation 1. Nowadays that would be a like an art style, but back then that was pretty much all they really had going on. So I don't even know why I brought that up. Okay, TV tropes and plot convictions. Members of his family appear as supernatural monsters throughout the series, and throughout the different episodes, I would say it has different animation styles, and I'm a little torn about that because on one hand, it does kind of work if you're doing a movie review. I mean, if you're doing a movie film on a anthology series or something that has diverse like a Batman anime series where different episodes can have different artists and it still be okay because it's still based in the overall universe, but it's not one cohesive story, right? Where this video game movie is one cohesive story. And okay, so we have you have your main hero Dante who has to travel basically to the afterlife to save his girlfriend Beatrice from Satan. Okay. So Dante's just a regular human being. He's not like a Greek god. Like I basically thought it was Hercules. I don't know why I thought it was Hercules. But I'm going into the movie thinking it's about Hercules or one of these pantheon of those gods, right? It wasn't. Um, so Dante is just a regular Christian human being who goes on a crusade for the church and basically loses his soul in various acts in the crusade, right? Um, and then so back at home, I guess his his fiance wages her soul with Satan, okay, and really believes that her husband would never like cheat on her, basically, right? And her husband is just like, I mean, he's a warrior, so he's out there raping and pillaging, basically. And so she ends up losing her soul. So he returns home, finds out that she's dead, and his whole family has been slaughtered. And so now he sees Satan take her, kidnap her, right? He abducts her right then, and the chase is on. So he chases after her, and um, he comes across a like a liminal space, like a crossport, like a gate, which is clearly like the gates of hell, right? But this guy's so caught up in trying to save his girlfriend from perceive what he thinks is Satan that he doesn't care, right? So he crosses this gate, which is clearly the gates of hell. So which is he's now in the afterlife, um, and falling into one of the seven circles of hell. So it's basically about how he has to fight these seven different supernatural creatures that represent different sins like gluttony and greed and all of these things. But they're all different manifestations or representations of different members of his family that were killed in his original life. Like I don't think he knows that he's dead, basically, in the movie. Spoilers are in effect. I don't even know if that's a spoiler. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. He has like this weapon. He has this like side, like the Grim Reaper, that he uses it. It was kind of interesting. I kind of got thrown off earlier when I was talking about the different versions of that animation. At first, I thought something had went wrong because like the second episode or the second, yeah, I would say episode. I think there's like four big episodes, like four arcs. Was done by a different artist, but it was subtle. So it started off with this Eon Flux vibe, and then the next art or the next episode was like a Berserk artist type of vibe, and it was okay. But I did notice it, but I only noticed it because of the sidekick, Virgil, who I thought was Hermes. Like I'm telling you, I thought this thing was Greek gods, right? So I thought it was Hermes, help leading him to the afterlife, but his name is Virgil, I think. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But he's his guide, he's his sidekick and guiding him to the afterlife. But he looked noticeably different in the second episode. And then when we got to the third, it was like full blown Yu-Gi-Oh abstract anime, and that's when it snapped to me that they're using different artists for different episodes. And so like you should not only do that for an anthology series or a series where you can tell different stories because there are different characters. To do that in a story that has one singular narrative tell kind of throws the audience off. But it was early 2010s, and so I'm not going to fault them for taking a little bit of risk. Okay, what else do I have? Motor transportation. I just put that as the gateway. Um, he didn't have like a magical horse or a steed or anything. He did in the beginning. He had a horse in the beginning, but it was completely killed. What else? Did the acting seem believable? Well, it's animation, so I don't think that really applies. What was the cultural impact of the movie? Did it break any new ground? It was for a video game movie of its time. It wasn't bad. Okay, my only setback is that the animation was a little funky. Rating system. I saw it on streaming Amazon. I think you should see it. I don't think it's bad at all. Summary and recommendations. Okay, some summary and recommendations. It's an anime. It's based on a video game movie about this guy who travels through the portals of hell to pick up his girlfriend, and basically ends up fighting different supernatural creatures that represent his family. But it's an anime. It's a solid one. It's about 85 minutes long. Amazon Prime. Atomic on Rex. Talk to you guys later.